Hey there, I'm Angela Sharp, and welcome to the Daily Mix. Today we start the show with sad news. By now you've probably heard that NBA legend Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter Gianna were among 9 people who died this Sunday in a helicopter crash in California. The group was traveling to Bryant's Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks. Tributes have been pouring in since the news of the accident broke, and the Grammys also paid special tribute to Bryant, broadcasting from the Staples Center, which is known as the house that Kobe built. Tributes to Kobe and Nipsey Hussle were among the highlights of this year's award show, and St. Louis's very own DJ Charlie Chan Soprano joined Run DMC, serving as DJ for DMC Daryl McDaniels. They took the stage with Aerosmith for a rendition of the band's Walk This Way. Now, there was plenty of star power here in St. Louis over the weekend, too. Of course, I'm talking about the NHL All-Star Weekend. You guys, this weekend was crazy. So first we started with the skills competition on Friday night, which was pretty amazing, right? So you had different skills. So you had the accuracy shot, goalie blocks, just everything fun. They actually added a brand new one this year called Shooting Stars, where there was actually a platform off, and the guys would shoot the pucks down and try to hit targets. Really cool. Don't worry, there was netting to make sure that nobody got injured during that. But what I really loved is what they did is they brought back a lot of the Blues heritage with some of those old-time players. You had Wayne Gretzky out there in Blues gear. You had Bernie Federko hanging out. Of course, Brett Hull. And of course, Keith Tkachuk had to come out to kind of reenact the photo. There's a photo of Keith while he was playing hockey when he was in the All-Star game with his 2 sons sitting on the boards watching him. Well, both his sons were in the All-Star Skills competition, so they were there, and then they brought Dad out, and just kind of a sweet moment. Then personally, for me, on Saturday, I hosted something called the Chell Gaming Challenge by the NHL. Get it? NHL, Chell. And that is, I co-hosted that actually with Paul Bissonnette, Biz Nasty, a former NHL player. There's all of us right there. And of course, we had Jack Eichel, Seth Jones. Of course, we had Matthew Tkachuk, had to kind of keep it kind of St. Louis. We also had a WWE guy, a baseball player, and then a couple of true gamers come out and kind of take their skills off the ice and take it right there into the video game to see how it goes. And then, of course, there was that All-Star game. The All-Star game was so much fun. So myself and Todd Blackstock were out there all weekend kind of covering it, interviewing the guys, seeing what's going on. Matthew Tkachuk got a lot of goals this weekend, so he kind of made St. Louis proud. I know that he didn't actually graduate from high school here, but he did go to school here, which was pretty neat. And as a legacy of the 2020 Honda NHL All-Star Weekend, the NHL, St. Louis Blues, and Bauer Hockey joined together to make a long-term investment in girls and women's hockey in St. Louis. This includes equipment, ice time, coaching, and more. All the details of the Legacy Initiative were announced at the Centene Community Ice Center ahead of the All-Star festivities. Of course, we were there, and you are going to want to keep an eye on STL TV for the full press conference and, of course, highlights from the All-Star Skills Competition and All-Star Game. Now, coming up in the show, I've got Randall Noldge. We're going to talk all things motorcycles and how you can come see them pretty soon. This coming weekend at the pageant. This coming weekend at the pageant, I asked. He's right there. So he'll be joining us in just a little bit. So let's get started on today's Daily Mix. The City of St. Louis, along with St. Louis Development Corporation, has officially launched a new series of interactive digital kiosks from Ike Smart City. Now, the first group of kiosks have already been installed in historic Old North St. Louis and downtown, so you may be wondering, what exactly is a smart kiosk? Okay, here's the short answer. It's a lot of things, really. The kiosks are multilingual and ADA compliant and serve as a free Wi-Fi hotspot for the public. Users can browse listings for resources like shelter, food banks, job openings, where they can discover local businesses, community events, and activities. The kiosks also provide public service and safety announcements, and they add lighting to sidewalks, enhance security, include a two-way 911 call button. By the end of the year, an additional 50 kiosks are expected to be added throughout the city, with plans for even more in 2021. To learn more about the new kiosks, visit stlouis-mo.gov, and you can discover more at smartcity.com. Not only is St. Louis a smart city, it's also a fun city. It seems like every other week we're talking about the latest list we're on top of for our amazing attractions or restaurants. Well, now the power is in your hands. We have not one, but two awesome museums vying to be named the best in the U.S. The Magic House and the City Museum have both been nominated as two of USA Today's 10 best children's museums. Of course, we think they're pretty great and pretty fantastic. So how about maybe a tie for first? Now you can go and vote once a day until the polls close on Monday, February 17th. Just go to 10best.com and click on the Reader's Choice tab. Speaking of some of the best that St. Louis has to offer, St. Louis Magazine is gearing up for the 2020 A-List or Reader's Choice poll, where they pay tribute to the region's finest in everything from food and drink and health and fitness, media, sports, and of course pets. And there's still time to nominate your favorites in over 300 categories. And here's a nice bonus. If you submit at least 25 nominations, I know that sounds a lot, but get this, if you do that, you'll be automatically entered to win a $250 gift certificate to a top restaurant. The nomination round closes this Friday, the 31st at 11, so make sure you go now. To get your favorites on the ballot, go to stlmag.com. And the St. Louis Science Center definitely deserves a place on that list. And if you're a beer fan, that's the place you're going to want to be next month for the annual Science on Tap event. Get to know brewers as they discuss their unique beers and brewing processes while you learn more about the science behind beer. The evening will feature more than 100 beer tastings, science demonstrations, hands-on activities, live music from the Bottoms Up Blues Gang, tasting plates, and so much more. Science on Tap is for adults 21 and up and will take place Saturday, February 8th. For tickets and more info, go to slsc.org. But guess what, guys? It's giveaway time. That's right. We have tickets to give away to Science on Tap. And all you have to do to enter is go to our Facebook page, look for the giveaway post pinned to the very top, and you will find out all the details there and enter to win. Good luck. Now, on the last show, I gave you a sneak peek at some of the footage from my Supercross adventure. Are you ready for some more? Yeah, check this out. Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Okay, so I got a little bit of a tutorial on how to use this bike, but I've got the cat AJ here with me. What's gonna happen right now?
We're just gonna teach you the basics of the basics and then just get you, we got plenty of room here.
we do have plenty of room down here.
So
you're gonna kind of show me the basics of the basics, which means I shouldn't be as scared as I am.
No, I think Alex had you a little nervous. No,
okay.
once we get you set up, you'll be fine. I think that's the cool thing about this sport is this bike is so basic that you can learn and do what you need to do. And essentially what we're doing at the pro level is we just have that dialed in. We're not doing anything crazy.
Well, no, I saw you here beforehand. You guys were, kind of jumping and all that kind of stuff.
But what I'm teaching you is exactly what we're doing. I've just been doing it since I was 2 years old.
All right, I caught up here with Justin Cooper, premier opener winner, right?
Yeah, it was a good weekend to say the least, and just looking forward to keeping that momentum rolling into this weekend. The track's really good here, kind of like an East Coast track. We're used to the West Coast, but we'll make it work, and we're excited to have a good weekend.
So you got to tell me, being from Edwardsville, when did you get involved? Like, when did you start racing?
I started riding when I was 10 years old. I came to this race, I was probably 8 years old or so with some friends. I didn't have bikes or nothing, but it was the coolest thing ever. It was a dream to be able to be on this stage. So my parents got me a bike for my 10th birthday, rode in the backyard for about a year, and then started racing at a local track. And started getting slowly but surely, got better and better, and started moving my way through the ranks and eventually turning pro in 2014.
That was so much fun. I loved going out there and hang out with the Supercross guys. And you know, one of those guys was from just right across the river in Edwardsville, which is always neat. So basically I'm going from dirt bikes to motorcycles. This here is Randall Noldge with a Cycle Showcase STL. So you don't really have the dirt bikes there so much. You've got more like the choppers, right?
I've got some old dirt bikes too.
Oh, so it's for all the bike lovers.
I've got a little bit of everything, yes.
All right, well,
yes.
Let's back up for the people who maybe
Sure.
don't know what I'm talking about. What is this all about?
So Cycle Showcase STL is a collection of 50 rare, historic, vintage, custom, a lot of custom motorcycles. It's just eye candy for as far as you can see, and it's everything from Japanese motorcycles, European motorcycles, a lot of American motorcycles, of course, dirt bikes, road bikes, custom, anything you can imagine.
So this is really
Yes.
for those people who just love bikes, but you said it's not just for those people.
No, not just for those people. We've got all kinds of things going on inside the building. People say it's like a museum when they come in, getting to see all these bikes on exhibit. We've got displays that tells you what makes the bike special, be it the artistic design, be it the history of it, the rarity of it. Yeah, it's like a museum, I guess.
So you basically are turning the pageant this time into a museum, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna take all the tables and chairs out of there and put up risers for each of the bikes. It's gonna be wonderful. Yeah.
And you're calling this like a family-friendly event, and
It
so
is.
that means kids 15 and under.
Kids 15 and under are free. If you
So
can't,
there you go.
Yeah, if you can't if you don't have a driver's license yet, come on in for free. Because when you get a driver's license, you're probably gonna get a motorcycle.
I love this. Okay, so let's go back a little
Okay.
bit. When did you start this showcase?
I started this in 2013. It was the first time I did it. I'd been to other motorcycle shows in the area, and I was dissatisfied with what I was seeing. And I said, you can either complain about it or take the reins and do it yourself. And I've been in the music business a long time, and I've done a few shows. So I said, why not make a motorcycle show? What could be so hard about it? Well, I learned. It's one thing gathering up one band versus trying to gather 50 motorcycles from all over the country. Yeah, it's been really successful. And the turnout has been great. And each year it keeps growing, and the response from the public has been unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, where are these bikes coming from?
Well, this is the first year we're international. We actually have our first bike coming from Canada this year.
Nice.
And nationwide. I've got, this is also my first year, I've got a bike coming from Los Angeles. I've got one from New York. I've got 4 from Florida. I've got 3 from Texas. All over the country, bikes are coming in.
All right, well, tell me about some of those rarer bikes that you might have there.
Oh, excuse me. Let's see. I've got some from the teens, the 20s, from Europe. Some things I've never even heard of. An ISA from Germany from 1930.
Oh, wow.
Never even heard of it, and it is stunning. It may be my favorite bike in the show. But then I've got, it's like saying, what's your favorite bike? What's your favorite kid?
Right,
I can't pick
just
one, because as soon as I turn it around, then that's my favorite, or this is my favorite. Yeah, a lot of custom stuff. I have the World International Bike Building Champion from Florida, Lakeland, Florida is coming up, Bryant, and he's bringing a motorcycle up that he just completed this last year. He was lucky. We were fortunate enough that he joined us last year with his award-winning bike, and he had such a great time. He said, anytime you're doing a show, I want to be a part of it. And I called him up and I said, you got another bike this year? And he said, yes, we just got one done, and he's bringing that up. So
what a testament to the show that you're
yeah.
putting on. That's great. Now, I'm sure a lot of these guys are, maybe kind of shipping or carting their things up, but you told me about a man who's riding a bike down here, and it's not exactly bike weather.
Well, Yes, this gentleman I met a number of years back, he actually came to my show when we had it in the summertime, and he rode up from Colorado with this incredibly long motorcycle, this long chopper, and it had stickers from Denmark and Germany and Holland and France and Switzerland. And I said, what's up with this? And he says, I ride this everywhere. And he says, I've shipped it to Europe and ridden all over Europe. And it's a 13-foot long motorcycle with no suspension. It is the most hardcore thing, and it's crusty and dirty. And he lives in Denver, Colorado, and I called him and I said, Charlie, this motorcycle is perfect for this show. It's about riding them and getting out there and enjoying this. And I said, would you bring it in? He says, I will ride it in. And I said, this is February 2nd.
This.
And he said, this is February 2nd, 1st and 2nd. And he says, I've got heated gloves, I'm coming. So he's riding in from Colorado the end of January on a 13-foot long chopper. And that's my favorite bike of the show.
I was going to say, that is pretty impressive, but there's going to be a ride, too, a charity ride.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So the event is Saturday and Sunday. Doors open at 11 both days. But on Sunday morning, we're gonna get up a little early. About 9:30, we're gonna start registration for Aiden Jack Seeger Foundation charity ride. We call it Aiden's Ride, and this is to benefit the Aiden Jack Seeger Foundation. We're trying to get lobbyists to lobby to get childhood screening for preventable diseases, so no more children lose their lives without. I don't know how to say it.
You want to be able to be screened so that maybe they can prevent this and they don't have to lose their life. Well, that's a very noble cause. So you guys are just, I mean, it might be cold. We don't know what the weather's going to be like here in St. Louis.
Well, you know, nothing's carved in stone. We know we're going to go for a ride. The weather will tell us how far we're going to go.
Very well.
It's not going to be, we're not going to go real far, and nobody's going to get hypothermia. You know, we just might put around Forest Park or something like that, or a little ride around the city. If it's 4 degrees and it's sleeting, which it could be in St. Louis, maybe we'll just go around the block.
So this is going to kick off from the pageant and end at the pageant.
Kick off at the pageant, end at the pageant. It starts at 9:30. Registration starts at 9:30. We hope to have kickstands up about 10 o'clock.
I mean, this sounds like it's going to be a wonderful event to follow, for everybody to follow. So can they keep up with you? Do you have like a website, Facebook page, kind of thing?
Facebook is Cycle Showcase STL. On Instagram, I'm huge on Instagram, it's CSSTL. And if you type in your search bar up at the top, Cycle Showcase STL, you'll find me there.
And we have all the information right there on your screen so you guys can check it out. It sounds like it's going to be perfect for the true gearhead and even those people who aren't the true gearhead. Because you also said there's going to be art and pottery and other stuff happening.
I've got crafts people coming in. They're crafting on site, all kinds of different mediums. I've got artists coming in that are bringing moto-centric art to the event. It's really geared toward people that are not motorcycle people. What makes it attractive to our culture? I'm trying to just spread that out with everybody else.
Make the love. Well, definitely make sure you check it out. It sounds like it could be a fun weekend event for you. And after you check them out, make sure you check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. You can drop us a line right here at the Daily Mix at stltv.net. We want to hear from you. That's going to do it for the mix, but keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis.